Hello there, you, hello there, you guys. Welcome to my live videos. And today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest transfer rumours and gossip that's currently going on in the media that I'm currently going to be updating you with today. So we'll discuss and review today a bit of Chelsea's transfer rumours, maybe discuss a bit about Arsenal's, and discuss with you what's going on with a bit of Manchester United as well. So we'll cut straight to the chase with what's going on with Chelsea's news as a current segment. Sarri's looking to bolster his squad. Obviously, he's looking to reinvest into his squad. You know, I've been updating you on this on a regular basis of what's been going on with the transfer rumours. As I currently said, because Chelsea could see some of their players leave. One of the key areas in his squad Sarri wants to strengthen up is his forward line. As we all know, so potentially he's in the market to look for a replacement for Morata. As we all know, so potentially David Luiz's contract is up in the summer as well. Gary Cahill looks like he could be leaving as well. You know, Callum Hudson could be leaving Stamford Bridge. Morata's going to be leaving Stamford Bridge, I should presume, as well. Fabregas has already left. So potentially, Sarri will want replacements. But obviously, one of the things he wants to do as well is find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas. Does Sarri? So he's desperate to find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas. So potentially, we all know in the media that this Leandro Paredes has reportedly been mentioned. He is Chelsea's number one target to replace Cesc Fabregas in that midfield, as we all know, is his current player. We know they've been linked with Nicola Barella as well, a 21-year-old Italian player who plays for Cagliari, but reportedly he's reluctant to leave midway through the season. So it's likely that Chelsea will get a deal now online for Leandro Paredes. He's 24 years of age. As I did say to you, he's Argentinian. Chelsea have been in negotiations with Zenit St. Petersburg over this. Reportedly, Zenit St. Petersburg demand that they want around £36 million in the region for the player. He's only 24, so do you think he'll grow and develop and mould under Sarri? Do you think he'll fit the Premier League agenda? Because the player's never played in the Premier League. As I said, he's actually a boyhood club, was Boca Juniors. Was this Leandro Paredes. Chelsea is still in negotiations with Zenit St. Petersburg to try and come to an agreement on a fee. Reportedly, Chelsea put a first bid in just under £30 million, got turned down. They've put a second bid in the process of around 31 million, is it, or something like that? But reportedly, personal terms have been agreed. Chelsea have agreed personal terms for the player. A contract has reportedly been agreed as well, but a fee has not come to an agreement. So I think the contract is going to be until 2023. I think Chelsea are willing to offer him around £8,000 a week, and it is a 4.5-year deal, about £4.5 million per season, £80,000 a week, and the contract will be until 2023. So potentially that's a 4.5-year deal. I think from this Leandro Paredes perspective, I think he does want to leave Russia, as he has confirmed. I think he may be keen on going back to his hub club, Boca Juniors, but the thing that he put out on Twitter the other week, suggesting that I'll put a welcome to Chelsea video on Twitter, that stirred suggestions up and got quite a lot of attention, from Chelsea supporters. So I think he is keen on making the move to Stamford Bridge, as he said, Leandro Paredes. Obviously, Zenit St. Petersburg are in the market, to try and find a replacement for the player, to obviously let the player go, as I currently said. But the contract's been agreed, personal terms have been agreed, Chelsea have been in negotiations, and he's been at Zenit St. Petersburg since 2017. I think he's made over 60 odd appearances in all competitions. He's a midfielder. Don't really know much about him, but I know Zenit got him from Roma for around, was it 23, 24 million pounds or something like that. And he's been at Empoli in the past on loan. He's been at Boca Juniors where he began his career. He's been at Chevio in the past as well. And he's only 24 years of age, as we all know. So essentially, he is another young age prospect, as we all know. We know that Calabrel's been mentioned as well, but out of the two, obviously, Leandro Paredes is more experienced, as we all know, because he's 3 years older than Nicola Barella. But Nicola Barella won't be leaving Cagliari midway through the season, but he's been a potential Chelsea target as well as that Nicola Barella. But it's the favoured now to go and get a deal over the line for Leandro Paredes, and I think he does want to make the move. Chelsea have not come to an agreement on a fee yet. So potentially, that's been a problem at the current moment. But reportedly, personal terms have been agreed, and reportedly, a contract has been agreed as well for Leandro Paredes. As he currently said. So that's the latest news to update you with about that. Obviously, Sarri's number one target is to get Gonzalo Higuain in his front line, because that's his main priority target, as we all know, because essentially Chelsea have been heavily linked to him. It's Sarri's number one target, as we all know. And as I did say to you guys, I know the Chelsea director's got reservations about it because Chelsea obviously have got a policy of only giving players who are age 30 or over, a contract of just like 12 months. Some or something like that. But as I did say, Chelsea being heavily linked to Gonzalo Higuain. According to AC Milan boss, he's not has to leave AC Milan reportedly, but he did come out in the press the other day that reportedly he's handed in a transfer request and he has made it clear, Gonzalo Higuain, he does want to make the move to Stamford Bridge. He did say Juventus and AC Milan are set to have more discussions about currently Gonzalo Higuain's future, as I said, but reportedly Chelsea have been interested in him because Higuain's agent and his brother had been over to London, to negotiate with Sarri about him potentially making to Stamford Bridge, as I currently said. But yeah, Chelsea have been in heavy negotiations, with Juventus over this. Reportedly, Chelsea have made inquiries about getting Gonzalo Higuain on loan. But I just don't think Juventus are willing to go along with this unless Chelsea commit, to signing him permanently at the end of his loan deal. So reportedly, Chelsea have had a 6-month loan deal turned down. They've had an 18-month loan deal turned down for Gonzalo Higuain as well. But it is potentially Sarri's number one target, as we all know. But as I did say to you, potentially Juventus have turned this down. There were talks of, Chelsea wanting to get him on a long loan of 18 months. Reportedly, it could have been. He said the Metro said it could have been in a deal worth £48 million in the region, 24 million for the loan fee and the salary, for 18 months, as we all know. But I think potentially from Gonzalo Higuain's perspective, he does want to make the move to Stamford Bridge because he's keen on reuniting with Sarri at Stamford Bridge, as I said. But Chelsea have not finalised terms yet with Juventus and that, so Chelsea found it hard to negotiate with Juventus over this. But reportedly said the other day from the Spanish press that he'd agreed personal terms, to join Chelsea with Gonzalo Higuain. His agent's been in negotiations, as we all know. The Chelsea director, does have reservations about it, as we all know, because he's age 30 odd and probably, he probably potentially has reservations of Chelsea paying that amount of, that fee of around 30 odd million, for a player that's in his 30s and obviously he's out of his prime, as I said. But obviously AC Milan got him for £16 million on loan, and potentially AC Milan do have, the obligation, to make the deal permanent this summer, as we all know, for 30 odd million pounds. But if Chelsea were to get him on an 18 million loan, it would be a deal worth just under £50 million, and I think, the Chelsea director would have strong reservations about that, as I currently said. But he's been Chelsea's number one target, as we all know, as Higuain. There's been talks of Higuain and Morata as a swap deal that reportedly Juventus have also turned down as well. But potentially Chelsea are looking to get rid of Alvaro Morata, so they're looking to raise some funds for Alvaro Morata, as we all know. So potentially they're looking to sanction Alvaro Morata on a loan deal, as we all know. And there's been a host of clubs interested in Alvaro Morata because he hasn't been number one choice at Chelsea. He's failed to establish himself in the Premier League at Chelsea since his £60 million move, and Chelsea paid £60 million for him in 2017, as we all know. But he hasn't made the impact, as he did do when he was young in his prime at Real Madrid, where he spent the most of his playing career, and he began his senior career, and he had 2 good years in Italy with Juventus, but he hasn't done it at Stamford Bridge. So potentially he has struggled to replicate that form that he did at Real Madrid and Juventus, at Stamford Bridge, as we all know. But obviously he's not been first choice as Morata because mainly, Sarri has been putting Eden Hazard in a false number 9 position up front on his own recently in the Premier League, as I said. But Morata, there's been a host of clubs interested in him because Morata does want to leave, as we all know, because he's fallen down the pecking order. There's been Barcelona interested in him. Bayern Munich have inquired about it. Who else been interested? Sevilla have been interested, but they're no longer interested in him now. AC Milan, and now the latest team to be interested in him is Atletico Madrid reportedly. But now reportedly Morata's agent was in discussion with the Sevilla representatives the other week because Sevilla were interested in getting him in. But reportedly now Sevilla have dropped their interest in Alvaro Morata due to his financial demands. Impossible to meet, according to the Sevilla directors confirmed his financial demand. Chelsea's financial demands are impossible to meet. So potentially Sevilla now have dropped out of the race. But reportedly it did say Atletico Madrid have been in talks with Chelsea over this. Alvaro Morata himself has been in talks in Madrid about him potentially, making a move to Atletico Madrid, because I think he's keen on making a move to Atletico Madrid because potentially that's where he actually began his young his playing career when he was young. So that he began his youth career with Atletico Madrid. Did Mavrel Morata. He's currently on about £8-9 million per season, but reportedly his wage could be a problem. Reportedly of him going, but reportedly he said he's willing to take a price cut, to join Atletico Madrid. Reportedly he's willing to take a price cut, but he didn't say he was willing to take a price cut from the other teams, that had been linked to him. But reportedly now, according to the media, that it did say Atletico Madrid are refusing to buy the player permanently. It says Atletico Madrid are only keen on getting Alvaro Morata on loan because potentially Atletico Madrid may have concerns about this. They may think he may not fit their system. He may not grow and develop more under Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid, as we all know. But as said, Atletico Madrid have been the latest team, to be interested in Alvaro Morata, but reportedly they are refusing to sign the player on a permanent deal. Reportedly, so they're not committing to get him outright in the summer, as we all currently know. But obviously, Chelsea are desperate. Chelsea are desperate, to get rid of. Chelsea are desperate to get rid of Alvaro Morata, as we all currently know. So it's looking like he's going to be going, but Chelsea need to find the right team that are going to get him, as we all know. But Chelsea have got a few alternatives, as we all currently know. If they do fail with a Gonzalo Higuain situation, reportedly, Callum Wilson has been mentioned in the press. Reportedly, it said Chelsea could get a 50 million deal over the line for Callum Wilson. Reportedly, his performances for Bournemouth have been very, very good. He's nowhere near the same caliber as caliber of Gonzalo Higuain, or nowhere near on the same level as Gonzalo Higuain. But he's proven in the Premier League. Reportedly, he's been very, very impressive for Bournemouth since he's been there. As I said, Callum Wilson, but I just don't think Eddie Howe's preparing, to let him go. Callum Wilson, because Bournemouth potentially know how much of an essential player he is, maybe from Callum Wilson's perspective. Now he's got some experience in the Premier League. He may want to elevate to that high level, and he may want to go play amongst better players, and he may want to go play for the bigger club, like Chelsea. Callum Wilson, I'm not too sure, but reportedly he's used as an alternative in case they do fail with a Gonzalo Higuain, deal. As I said. Gonzalo Higuain deal, as I said. But potentially, Chelsea have also been interested in Icardi. Now, he's another name that's been potentially, mentioned in the press as Icardi, as we all know, because he's a prolific goal scorer, just like Gonzalo Higuain. He's obviously younger than Gonzalo Higuain, is Icardi, as we all know. I think he scored over 100-odd goals, since he's been at Inter Milan. Well, he's 100-odd. He scored like 130-odd goals in his career. I think 120 playing career. I think 120 odd of them have come at Inter Milan. He's Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time. Potentially, he's been in Milan since 2013, so he has been in Italy a number of years now. Well, he had one season with Sampdoria as well, didn't he, to be fair, before he went to Inter Milan, as I said. But he has grown and developed very, very well. Reportedly, he's got around the 99 or is it 100 million release clause in his current Inter Milan deal, as we all know, as Icardi. So potentially Chelsea have been interested in him. I think he'd lead the lines for them. He is an efficient finisher, as Icardi. Obviously, Gonzalo Higuain's obviously more experienced, but they need someone up there that's going to lead the lines, score them more goals, because Chelsea are good at creating chances. And, they're good on the ball, but they just haven't been scoring enough goals this season, as we all know. And obviously, they're fighting for the top four this season, just like we are and just like Arsenal are, as I said, because obviously from Chelsea, they want Champions League football for next season, obviously to invest more money, to attract more players' interest, as we all know. But I think, Gonzalo Higuain does want to make the move to Stamford Bridge, as he has confirmed, as I said. But so Chelsea find it hard to get a deal over the line with Juventus at the moment. But Gonzalo Higuain, as I currently said, great player. As I said, highly experienced, very, very good. When he was a lot younger in his prime, had 6 good years with Real Madrid, scored 107 goals in like 190 odd appearances. Was it? 3 good years with Napoli. Scored 36 goals in one season with Napoli as well. And he's worked under Sarri before, as I said. And he is 31 years of age, as I said, so he's highly experienced, and he's a prolific goal scorer, but he hasn't shown, the form at AC Milan, to be quite honest with you, as Gonzalo Higuain, but it's Chelsea's number one target. AC Milan have initially got him on loan to make the deal permanent in the summer, but I think Juventus want Chelsea, to commit to sign him permanently, after Chelsea, of course, have got him on loan, but reportedly Juventus have turned 2 loan bids down now from Chelsea, reportedly. But I do think also that, Chelsea are going to be losing Callum Hudson. He's another player that, that's potentially, going to be leaving. I think he's going to be leaving Callum Hudson because he's only 18. There's been no signs of him as yet signing a new contract with Chelsea, Callum Hudson, as we all know. But I think potentially Callum Hudson's going to be leaving because I think he's got a year and a half left in his contract. So far, Chelsea have turned 3 bids down for Bayern Munich. A fourth bid got put in the process. Reportedly, I don't know if it got accepted or not, but it was Chelsea's valuation because Bayern Munich had put around £35 million in for the player because Bayern Munich want a few youngsters, in their team that are going to grow and develop. As we all know, because they have got quite a few aging up players, now with Bayern Munich, as we all know. So potentially they're looking to get some young players in their team. And Callum Hudson's, hasn't really had the opportunity to establish himself in the Premier League this season under Sarri. I think potentially Callum Hudson does want to leave Stamford Bridge. He's told the Chelsea director he wants to leave. I think Sarri's still keen on keeping Callum Hudson at Stamford Bridge. Reportedly. So yeah, we'll see what happens about that. So that's mainly Chelsea's transfer news. So they could still get a deal over the line for Higuain. It's looking likely they could be signing Leandro Paredes as well from Zenit St. Petersburg, as that has confirmed as well. They just have not agreed a fee yet, Chelsea and Zenit St. Petersburg, over this. As I did update you, I'll give you a bit of what was going on with Arsenal's transfer rumours yesterday, as I did currently say, because obviously, as I did say, Arsenal are in a mess at the moment. Potentially, Emre has been coming out in the press and he's been suggesting as Emre that he wants to sign one or two players. There's two key areas he's identified he wants to strengthen up in his squad, Emre. He wants a central defender and he wants a winger, does Emre, as he has potentially confirmed, because Arsenal have got injury problems. They've got players that are going to be leaving as well, as I said. Emre got 5 players there last summer, as we all currently know, and Aubameyang and Lacazette have been delivering the goods very, very well for Arsenal. To be quite fair, they've been leading their lines, they've been scoring goals, as we all currently know. But potentially, as I did say, Emre is looking to invest into his squad, as we all know. But I don't think it's unlikely that Arsenal will be buying in this January window because Emre is confirmed Arsenal can only afford loan signings. So essentially, he's ruled out Arsenal making any permanent signings in this January transfer window as Emre. But reportedly, from Arsenal's perspective, they know obviously Aaron Ramsey's leaving. Reportedly, they're looking to sanction Mesut Ozil off, to raise some funds, obviously to raise some funds. But potentially, Mesut Ozil is being linked with Juventus and Inter Milan, so they are the two teams that have reportedly been interested. Arsenal have got problems, they've got average players on big contracts. Ozil's on £350,000 a week, so potentially I think he's Arsenal's highest paid player. They've got injury problems. Welbeck's going to be leaving Arsenal as well. They have got a lot of problems, and as I did say, Stan Kroenke's not investing into the club. When Arsene Wenger left after 22 years, and when Ivan Gazidis left, they left that club in a total mess, as I currently said. But obviously, Arsenal's target this season is to get the top 4 to invest more money into their club to attract players' interest, as I said. But reportedly Juventus and Inter Milan have been interested in Mesut Ozil, as I said. So Emre has come out saying he's looking to sell Mesut Ozil, to raise some funds reportedly, because potentially Ozil is out of favour now at the Emirates Stadium. He's failed to be consistent this season. He hasn't adapted himself under Emre. He hasn't shown that replica. He hasn't shown that replica form that he showed under Arsene Wenger, as we all know, because he's Premier League proven. He's been in the Premier League 6 years now, as Mesut Ozil, but he's had injury problems this season. He's been struggling to get in the team, so potentially he has been in and out of the team as Mesut Ozil. So I think potentially he's been a very, very good player over the years. He has grown and developed, and he is 30 years of age now, but I think he could be on his way out. So Emre is looking for a buyer for Mesut Ozil, as I said. So potentially Arsenal are looking for a replacement for Mesut Ozil, maybe in the market looking for a replacement for Aaron Ramsey, as we all know. But there's been talks that came out in the media yesterday. Arsenal reportedly found their replacement for Mesut Ozil, reportedly. What got mentioned in the press yesterday was 27-year-old James Rodriguez, who's currently initially on a 2-year loan deal with Bayern Munich. Reportedly, it did say Arsenal have inquired about getting him on a loan deal, it could cost just in the excess of £3 million. Reportedly for James Rodriguez. He's Colombian. He's 27 years of age. He's highly experienced, as we all currently know. He's on a 2-year loan deal with Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich had to fork out about 12-13 million to get him on his 2-year loan deal. He hasn't really been impressive, since he's gone in Germany, to be quite honest, with Bayern Munich. He's got 6 months left on his current loan deal. As James Rodriguez, as we all know, he's only got 6 months left. Bayern Munich do have the option to make the deal permanent this summer, as we all currently know. But he said Arsenal could get him for just £3 million reportedly this player. So that potentially could be positive news for Arsenal. It would be good for him to experience the Premier League. James Rodriguez, do you think he'd do very, very well under Sarri? He's 27 years of age, so Arsenal still would get quite a lot of years out of him if they were considering to make the deal permanent in the summer or whenever. But they'd have to see, if they was to get James Rodriguez, they'd have to see where his best position would be in the Arsenal team, what system he'd fit in the Arsenal team, as I currently said. But reportedly, they've identified James Rodriguez as a potential replacement for Mesut Ozil, reportedly as well. We know they've also been heavily linked with Denis Suarez, so he's potentially been on Arsenal's radar as well. Arsenal inquired, obviously, about getting Denis Suarez on loan, and I think potentially Denis Suarez does want to make the move to Arsenal. Umrenre is keen on reuniting with Denis Suarez. Arsenal have been in negotiations with his representatives over around a 14-15 million deal, or something like that. His current contract ends with Barcelona in 2020. Does Denis Suarez, as we all know, but reportedly his agent is trying to reportedly persuade him to get a move to Arsenal this month, Denis Suarez. Reportedly, I think Barcelona are keen on offloading him permanently, so they want to raise some cash for this to Barcelona for the departure of Denis Suarez. But reportedly, the Barcelona president had been in negotiations with Arsenal, and he reportedly promised Denis Suarez a move to Arsenal this month. But I don't know if Barcelona are willing to go along with this. I don't know if they're willing to go along with this, Arsenal inquiring about this loan deal, unless maybe Arsenal, commit. They have to commit, reportedly, Arsenal, to make the deal permanent in the summer if Barcelona are willing to do any business. But Arsenal are inquiring about getting him on loan, see how he fits in the team, see if he hits the ground running, and then obviously Arsenal will make a decision in the summer if they want to get him on a permanent deal or not. But obviously, we know Arsenal haven't been getting the right amount of funds to spend. They didn't get it under Wenger. They haven't been getting under Umrenre, as we all know so far. So they haven't been getting the right amount of money to spend on players, they currently want. And there's some players out there they just can't afford, as we all know. But Denis Suarez has been an Arsenal target. His versatility is very, very good because he can play centrally, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. Can Denis Suarez, as we all know, and he actually began his youth career with Manchester City, did Denis Suarez. But we know Arsenal have been linked to him, and Umrenre is keen on reuniting with the player after they're together when obviously Denis Suarez was at Sevilla on loan, as we all know. Potentially he's 25 years of age, so he's just before his mid-20s. As we all know, potentially he's got a lot of years ahead of him to grow and develop more. And do you think he'll grow and develop more under the management of Umrenre? So potentially he's been an Arsenal target, as we all know. Potentially, as I did say to you, potentially, Aaron Ramsey's going to be leaving. It did say on Sunday was going his medical with Juventus, as he did confirm. Aaron Ramsey, of course, is leaving, whether it's going to be in this January window, whether it's going to be in the summer, because he currently comes to an end of his contract term in the summer, does Aaron Ramsey, as I said. It's reportedly said that Juventus have agreed a 5-year deal with 36 million, £140,000 a week and about 7.2 million a season. Or something like that. So potentially he's going to be the second highest paid player. Is Aaron Ramsey, for Juventus, just behind Cristiano Ronaldo. As I said, so he's had a wage increase from Juventus because he's been on about £110,000 a week, has he, or something like that with Arsenal. So he's getting a 30 extra million, a week. 30 extra million a week from Juventus, as I said. But reportedly, it did say Arsenal demanding that they want around an £18 million fee if he's to go to Juventus in this January transfer window. But reportedly, as I did say, Aaron Ramsey's been a good servant for Arsenal over the years, as we all know. He's made over 300 odd appearances. He's been there 10 years. He's grown and developed, very, very well. And he's a very, very good box-to-box midfielder. And he has won 3 FA Cups with Arsenal, scored in 2 of the finals as well. But obviously, Arsenal want an adequate replacement for him, as we all currently know. So potentially Arsenal know he's leaving, whether it's going to be in this window, whether it's going to be in the summer, when his current contract expires, as I said. But potentially we know that Arsenal have also been interested in that, Chinese winger. He plays in the Chinese Super League. He's Yannick Carrasco. He's currently a winner for Delaney Fan in the Chinese Super League. Reportedly, Arsenal have been offered him. Reportedly, if Arsenal were somewhere along the line to get a deal over the line, the player'd have to accept a price cut. Reportedly, because potentially the wages he's currently receiving could be a problem for Arsenal financially, making a move for the player. So his wages could be a problem of Arsenal getting him. But maybe Arsenal may inquire about getting him on loan, and then the player would have to accept a price cut, as we all know, for potentially Arsenal to get the player. I think he's keen on the move to the Emirates Stadium, is Yannick Carrasco, because he does want to come and play in Europe, and I think he does want to come and play in the Premier League. As we all know, it's reportedly said that we've been interested in him. Manchester United have been interested in him as well. He's 25 years of age. Is Yannick Carrasco, as we all know. Potentially, he's been in China now for a year. He had 2.5 good years, was it, with Atletico Madrid. He did very, very well, and he actually began his senior career with Monaco as well. He actually began his youth career with Gentnich. Yannick Carrasco reportedly can provide, he can score goals as well. Can they say Yannick Carrasco? But reportedly, a few teams have expressed their interest in Yannick Carrasco, as we all currently know. But there has been a few teams interested in him, because reportedly he does want to leave. Reportedly, but his wages are quite a lot. He's on about £170,000 a week, and that adds up to about 8.8 million a year. This is something that Arsenal cannot afford to do. So potentially they cannot afford Yannick Carrasco. But obviously it would fit the Arsenal agenda very, very well. Through memory, because one of his positions he wants to strengthen up is his wing position. As he has currently confirmed. But yeah, there's been a lot of news going on now. We're past the midway point through this January transfer window, so there's teams still looking to reinvest and get deals, done in this January transfer window. As I said. But yeah, that's mainly Arsenal's transfer news to update with, as it has confirmed Petr Cech's retiring at the end of the season. Just to update you guys with as well. So potentially we'll get on my club now, Manchester United, as we all know, because potentially I still think, we're doing very, very well under Solskjaer. There's been so much fast improvements, since Solskjaer's coming, as I said. 6 wins out of 6 now, as I currently said, 6 wins out of 6, 17 goals scored, as I said, 3 clean sheets kept under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I did say to you, there's still key areas where we do need to strengthen up. So as I did say, we need a strong central defender. Potentially, we need a strong central defender. We need someone on the right, and we need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious. Because I think all our attack is coming from the left hand side, as I currently said. Also, we've got a lot of players coming to the end of the contracts, as we all know, that do need solving as well. Has come out saying it's unlikely that we'll make any signings in this January window. He said it's unlikely. He said he doesn't expect Manchester United to make any signings in this January window because over £400 million has been invested and spent on this team, and Solskjaer's getting the best out of the players. The players are getting the best out of Solskjaer because he blatantly said he wants the players to go out there and express themselves, and this is what potentially Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, and they have potentially done this so far, as I currently said, the players, because there's a difference in team, because he's going with a system that suits the players. Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself more. The front men are getting the freedom, to interchange closer together. We're getting fullbacks, higher up the pitch, as we all currently know. We are defending better, to be quite honest with you. But I think this team's playing to its potential level, and I think Solskjaer knows the chaplains of the club. He knows the culture of the club. He knows the club inside out, and reportedly now he's a favoured now to get the job on a full-time basis. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Solskjaer has potentially come out and said he'd love the job on a full-time basis. He said it would be hard for him to leave Manchester United, but reportedly Ed Woodward has currently praised him for the work he's done so far at Manchester United. So potentially, I think he's now the favoured, to get the job on a full-time basis. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's only had a bit of managerial experience. I know he didn't do so well with Cardiff, and he won 2 Norwegian titles with Molde and that, but he's won 6 out of 6, and he's got us playing the United where the way we used to play under Alex Ferguson, as we all currently know. He's got us playing the United where we want to play. He doesn't rest on his laurels. He shows that inspiration, which is very, very good, and he understands the philosophy, and he likes the attacking football, and he does like the width, and he's getting the best out of the players, because the players are showing that they want to play for this manager, as we all currently know. But in my opinion, I think Solskjaer is the right man. I think he can elevate this club forward to the highest level, as we all currently know. And I think top 4 is our aim this season. Definitely top 4 is our aim. And we're definitely in there with a shout for top 4, as I currently said. But potentially now we've caught up with Arsenal. We're 6 points behind top four. So top four is our target this season, and hopefully next season get us back up there competing for major honours and that, and get us back up there competing with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, as we all know. But according to Solskjaer, he said he was going to be having discussions with Ed Woodward, about this January transfer window, about potentially inquiring about getting signings in. But reportedly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said it is unlikely, as we all couldn't know. But I think, in the midfield, we look very, very effective in the midfield when we've got Herrera, Matic and Pogba. It looks very, very effective indeed. And we look very, very effective, in our front line when we've got Martial on the left, who creates that width very, very well and he's very influential. Rashford's very, very effective, in the centre. And I think Lingard looks very, very good on the right-hand side. But as I said, Lukaku doesn't complement our front line because he doesn't have pace like Rashford and Lingard and all that. Who can press high up the pitch, and Martial, who can press high up the pitch and cause problems. Lukaku doesn't have it. He is a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, as we all know. He scored about 45 goals for Belgium, and I know, he scored 3 goals, before, the Tottenham game in his last 3 games, as we all know, Lukaku, 2 of them substitutes. So potentially probably will improve under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's obviously not going to be number one to start from the start. I think he's a player that can probably potentially maybe make something happen, from the bench, probably an impact from the bench from Lukaku, because I just don't see how he fits in our frontline system, because he doesn't have any pace. His first touch does concern a lot of people, as I currently said. He will still get the opportunities, as I currently said, but he doesn't have pace like Lingard and Martial and Rashford and all that. So I just don't see how he complements our front line, to be quite honest. And I think it looks slower, it looks slower, when Lukaku's put in our team, and he can't keep up with the likes of Martial and Rashford and Romelu Lukaku. As I said, and it's same when you put Fellaini in the team. He's slow and stick as well. He's Manny and Fellaini, and he doesn't complement our midfield as well. And I think he will be going anywhere because he doesn't fit in this new regime at Manchester United. To be quite honest, and same with Matic. Matic, to be fair to Matic, he has dramatically improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be quite fair. Matic has improved. As I said, he's effective in his passing, he's the man Matic, as we all know. So he has improved. He is slow. I have reservations about him, as we all know, but he's dramatically improved. I think he's galloping forward more and improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and to be quite fair, but he's slow, just like Fellaini. This is why I potentially said we need a defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, as I currently said. But potentially, I think Fellaini is going to be going. There has been talks that Manny and Fellaini is going to be leaving the club. Reportedly, we're looking to sanction Manny and Fellaini off at around £15 million. He has been here since 2013, of course, as Manny and Fellaini. And he's been in about 6 years now. He was actually first choice under Jose Mourinho, but now, obviously, in this new system, he doesn't fit in this new regime at Manchester United. There's Manny and Fellaini. So I see Manny and Fellaini going. And I do see quite a few players, leaving Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, to be quite fair. There has been talk, and I think Darmian will be leaving as well. He's another player I think will be leaving because obviously Luke Shaw's our first choice left back. And another thing I said, potential reports have been coming out. I think that Marcus Rojo is going to be leaving, but he won't be, of course, offloaded until the summer. Marcus Rojo, as I have confirmed to you, because reportedly he left the training camp in Dubai the other week. Reportedly. Did Marcus Rojo, and he's hardly featured this season. He's had a difficult time, since he's come to Manchester United, to be quite honest. We're struggling to get game time under his belt, fitness issues, injuries as well. Marcus Rojo is good there as a backup option, as I said, because his versatility at the back is very, very good, is Marcus Rojo's, as I said. But reportedly, we should try and sell him in the summer to raise some money, get one of his, main targets, in that defensive line. So I think Marcus Rojo could be leaving in the summer, as it has confirmed. We won't be selling him in this January window because Solskjaer said it's unlikely anywhere we'll make get any deals over the line in this January window. But I think Marcus Rojo will be gone in the summer, to be quite honest with you. So I still think, there will be players, leaving the club, as I currently said to you. As I said, I don't think Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, will be here next season, to be quite honest with you as well. I don't think, they'll be here next season. I think Valencia's obviously future is still uncertain with the club because he's been in and out of the team this season. He's hardly played this season, Antonio Valencia, to confirm you guys. He's hardly played this season. So I do think potentially Antonio Valencia could be leaving. He's 33 years of age, as I said. And obviously, Ashley Young now is our first choice right back. As I currently said, Ashley Young's our first choice right back. He's 33 years of age as well, Ashley Young. But Valencia's made over 300 appearances since he's been here. He has been here since 2009. So we have had him a good 10 years now, Antonio Valencia, of course. I think he could be going as well. But we are still in talks of getting new deals for who? New deals for, Ashley Young, Herrera and Juan Mata as well. We know that there's also been talks about David De Gea. Reportedly, De Gea wants around £300,000 a week from Manchester United if he is to commit to a new long-term deal. Reportedly, he's committed his long-term future at Manchester United anyway. So potentially, De Gea is happy at Manchester United, as we all know. So he's looking to become one of the club's highest paid players. To potentially stay at Manchester United. He's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. I think he were potentially better than Schmeichel. I think he were potentially better than Edwin van der Sar, to be quite honest with you, with David De Gea. And since he's been here, he's made over 300 odd appearances. As I said, he's won the club's player of the year 4 out of 5 seasons. As David De Gea, we know Real Madrid were linked to him in 2015. Real Madrid obviously didn't get a deal over the line. As I currently said, we know it said Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus were also interesting, but we've had him here since 2011, so he has grown and developed, fantastically well, and he has won the Matt Busby Player of the Year quite a few times. I think he's nearly made a century of clean sheets now in the Premier League as David De Gea, but I think somewhere along the line we are going to agree him a new long-term deal with the club, as we all know, which would be very, very good to see, as I currently said. But, these are a few potential targets, we are linked with, as we all know. Obviously, Koulibaly is our number one target, to get in at Old Trafford. As we all know, he's our number one target, is Koulibaly. Because as I did say, that's a very his game very, very well. Got a lot of tenacity about his play. Very, very good in the air. As I said, he's Koulibaly. And I think he doesn't want to be at Napoli anymore. He's been there a number of years. I think he wants to leave due to the majority of the reasons why he wants to leave due to the racial abuse he suffered back in Boxing Day. On Boxing Day last year in one of Napoli's games. I think it was it against Inter Milan or something like that. But he suffered racial abuse. He got sent off, and now I think he feels unsettled in Italy. It would cost him the excess of around £100 million, to probably get Koulibaly, as we all know. But he would be a great defender for us. He'd be a great major signing, and he'd be a good leader in our back line, as we all know. As I currently said, and he'd complement the likes of Lindelof and Eric Bailly, as we all know, would Koulibaly. Still got a contract with them until 2023, of course. So far, we've had 3 bids in the process turned down. The recent one, was a £95 million bid. But I think he's pushing, for the move out of, Napoli, to be quite honest with you, is Koulibaly. And he's our number one target, is Koulibaly, as we all know. But the president's confirmed it's unlikely they're willing to do any business in this January transfer window, as they have confirmed. As they have confirmed, they said it's unlikely that they're willing to do any business in this January transfer window for Koulibaly, but it also said Real Madrid will reportedly be interested in him as well. As I did say to you guys, reportedly, reports were coming out yesterday. Well, we've been linked to a few other central defenders as well, haven't we, as I've already updated you about. Obviously, we know that Milan Skriniar has been mentioned in the press as well. But reportedly, it did say, from Inter Milan's perspective, and, the boss said potentially nobody can afford Milan Skriniar. He's rated at around £70 million. Reportedly, he's come out saying no one can afford him. His price is out of everyone's range, and reportedly he's staying at Inter Milan. Is Milan Skriniar. He's 23 years of age, so he's 24 years younger than Koulibaly, because Koulibaly is 27 years of age. As we all know, Milan Skriniar is Slovakian. Reportedly, his performances for Inter Milan, have been very, very impressive. I still think he's got currently 3 years left on his deal with Inter Milan, but potentially he's been one of Ed Woodward's potential targets as well. Is this Milan Skriniar, as I currently said. But yeah, we've been linked with him, and we know that we've been linked to, what's his name? We've been linked with a few other defenders. We've been linked with Eder Militao. He's been mentioned in the press. Reportedly, a few teams have been interested in Eder Militao, as we all currently know, because he's been mentioned in the press quite a few times. Eder Militao is obviously Brazilian. He's only 20 years of age, so potentially still very, very young in his prime. Is this Eder Militao, and he can play as a defensive mid, he can play as a centre-back and a full-back. I think he's predominantly a right-back. He only signed for Porto last summer, did the player, as we all currently know, Eder Militao, and he is a good player. I think he's reportedly supposed to be a very, very good player, and he's only very, very young in his prime. He's only 20 years of age, as I said. Reportedly, he's got a £40 million release clause, and he's got 4 years left on his deal with Porto, so potentially, we have been linked with him. Potentially, also, it's been mentioned, we have been linked to Toby Alderweireld as well. I have reservations about Alderweireld now, because he is 29 years of age. He can be a world-class central defender, as we all know. Tottenham have extended his current contract till 2020, so it's included a £25 million release clause for the summer, as we all know. So he could be set to leave Tottenham Hotspur in the summer. Toby Alderweireld. But, you know, previously, you know, we have been linked with him, you know, to be quite honest with you. I think he'd be a good leader in our back line with Alderweireld. He's Premier League proven, of course. He's been in the Premier League a number of years now as Toby Alderweireld. But as I said, you know, we have been previously, you know, linked with him as well. We have previously been linked with him as well. So essentially, it's a very, very good start under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But obviously now he's number one to come in, reportedly on a full-time basis. Solskjaer loved the job on a full-time basis, as he has confirmed. Got the players playing on another level now, which is very, very good to see, as I currently said. And he did say he's going to give everybody the chance, as he did confirm, you know, rotate the squad, give the youth a chance, you know, to grow and develop. As we all know, we know potentially, you know, Pochettino actually was Ed Woodward's number one target, you know, to get in on a full-time basis at the end of the season. Pochettino got mentioned, but he's no longer number one now, as that looks unlikely he's going to come in. According that, he has strong reservations about leaving Tottenham. And according to Donny Lever, the chairman, he's not willing to let Mauricio Pochettino go, as he has confirmed. So he's ruled out of letting Pochettino go. Even if we were to offer in excess of £50 million, they wouldn't let Pochettino go. So why would we want to get Pochettino in when potentially it would cost us anywhere in the region to get him in at the end of the season, because he signed a 5-year deal with Tottenham last summer, when we could save that money, get a sign with that money, and keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as our boss on a full-time basis. As we all know, Pochettino is known in the Premier League. He wouldn't guarantee he'd do a good job if he came in anyway. He's known of doing well in the Premier League. He hasn't won out in terms of silverware, so he's looking to win his first major honour as a manager. He's Pochettino. He hasn't won out yet, you know, yet. He has done very, very well with Tottenham. You know, I'll give him all the credit. He's done well with Tottenham. You know, he's got them playing really, really good football, and he has got a good squad, but he's only spent £50 million since 2014, so he will be frustrated with a lack of transfer activity, will Mauricio Pochettino, and he has been, you know, managing since 2009. He's good at growing and developing young players, is Mauricio Pochettino. I think he's managed over 250 odd games now in the Premier League, I think, for Tottenham, and he has got a good record at Tottenham, you know, to be quite fair. But potentially it's unlikely that they're going to make any signings in this January window anywhere. Tottenham Hotspur, as I said. And obviously Tottenham are still awaiting, you know, a new stadium, you know, this year, as I did confirm to you guys as well. So essentially, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now is the favourite, you know, to get the job on a full-time basis. You know, as it has confirmed, Solskjaer's the favourite to get the job on a full-time basis. And I'd love him to get the job on a full-time basis, because I think he can elevate this club forward, as I currently said. So yeah, that's been everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. We'll be back with more live videos soon. If you do consider subscribing, as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon, guys.